Hello. We're in the Endwalker patch content now, going to Alzadaal's legacy. Checking out that map. Your character is actually holding the map there. It's pretty funny. Alright, I'm running this with NPCs. J, Estinian, Yashtola. First group of ads here. Pick them up and I'll go past this bridge. It doesn't look like there's anything there, but there will be these arrow indicators that will pop up. I'm kind of staggering here because these monkeys tend to, like, they throw rocks, right? And so they're kind of ranged. So I'm making sure they're with me. Okay, so these are the little arrows I'm talking about. There will be AoEs here, and it will just be like the next set of ads that they're going to jump out from the bushes, and then they're going to show up there. Okay. So, grab these. You can just park it here is fine for this set. You actually can't go further, so this is what you got. Watch out for circle AoEs. Usually when I run with the NPCs, I'm running with like Alzadaal, Estinian, and Yashtola. They're all ranged, so it's interesting seeing Estinian here as melee Dragoon jumping all over the place. Okay, once we take care of that set of ads, then this thing is gonna, the new bridge is gonna pop up. Okay, and then for this group, I'm gonna pick it up and go up these steps. The very first time I ran this, like, we kept the group here, but I got stuck in these bushes. So there's a collider here, so be careful of not getting behind the bush there. But people tend to keep the pack in this area, and then yeah, so if you get stuck behind these things, like, you might think, oh, I'm trying to go through the ads, but it's actually, there's a big collider right there. Okay, so here, we'll just take care of the ads per usual. And honestly, I could have, like, moved back here, so back down over there to have more space. But again, with the NPCs, it's kind of hard to move them. If they can see the ads, they're gonna stand still. And, it can make things a little complicating. Okay, watch out for these AoEs and stuff. It can make it complicating, especially if your healer is not gonna, like, move towards you close enough and then they can't heal you and things like that. If you're running with normal gamer players, the real people, usually people will run with you. Yeah, it really depends. I mean, at this point, most people will have at least run content with others already, you know, because you can't do the trials with NPCs. But if you're experiencing, like, running Endwalker dungeons with players for the first time because you ran everything with just the NPCs, then Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit different. Okay, first boss. Pretty sure they're gonna make all the MSQ stuff with NPCs now, though. Alright, so this boss, I'm turning it north, per usual. I'm gonna get Big Wave. This is gonna be a raid wide, and also it gives everyone a bleed. Okay, so everybody has a bleed. And this will last for a while. So just healers, make sure heal up. Tentacle dig, it's gonna put one of the tentacles into the ground. And then, okay, so this tentacle is up in this one, so we're just gonna have to deal with one of them. This water thingy is like moving around. At some point it's gonna stop and then do a big AoE. And then so you gotta like get out of the way. Ooh, Estinian's got a nice little jump thing to get out of the way. I've always had some difficulty reading this, but the best I can say is it's gonna like do 2 little circles as it goes around, or curves. Okay, see, so it's doing one kind of curve, and then it makes like a U-turn of some sort. And after that curve, that's usually where it's gonna land. So I try to stay away from it in general. We'll see it again later. So typically it might be like, oh, this hand is up, okay, this side's gonna get cleaved, or it's like, oh, this one's down, so this is gonna get cleaved. Yeah, no, for this one, it's you have to look at actually where the water is like moving around. Okay. We're many expansions in. The mechanics are gonna get a little more difficult, right? Okay, tentacle dig again. Let's take a look. Okay, it puts 2 tentacles into the water now. So we're gonna have to take a look at 2 different water things. Okay, so they do their first kind of curve, and then they're gonna do the secondary curve. And there we go, see, and then it pops up. And so I'm not in the right place here. You gotta go all the way over there. So if you get hit with it, looks like one of them, okay, there's a red one and then there's a blue one. Okay, so one of them does 10k, whatever. This one's also roughly 10k. One gives poison, and then the other one gives a vulnerability up. And I got hit with both. So, because I think I was right in the middle of it. Yeah, so I'm in the overlap, so I got hit with both of them. And it looks like I also get knocked back. Okay. Okay, Toxic Fountain. We're gonna get a few sets of AoEs here. So you want to figure out which one popped up first, and then that's what you're gonna go into. So here, I believe the center one came out first. Okay, see, so the center one popped up first, so that's gonna explode first. And then we get a second set on the sides. Oops. Second set on the sides, and so we can stand in this clear spot over here, and then so what I'm keeping track of is this one, like these middle ones, that's gonna go off first, even though there's one underneath, like I'm standing in this one. This is gonna be the last one to go off, so I'll wait for the middle ones to go off, okay, and then move into the clear spot, and then the next round goes off, and then the last one will go off. Big waves, a raid wide. Remember, it has a bleed on it, so healers need to be prepared for that. Tentacle dig. see which one. Okay, it's putting both into the ground. Wait for the first kind of curve and then kind of see. Okay, so this one's moving that way, and then this one, I'm watching this, is gonna go towards me. Yeah, it's kind of, it swivelled around towards me, but it's like it's heading towards this side. So I'm gonna assume it's gonna be like this, and then this one I saw it's going that way, so it's probably gonna be like this, so that I start moving off to the side over here. Also, I saw the NPCs running that way, so that's useful. Big wave, raid wide. Okay, toxic fountain again. Figure out whatever popped up first, go into the safe spot. I stood here hoping that I could make it in just from the second hit. It looks like I was alright. Okay, so this one's the first one. And even though I'm standing in the second one, I thought to myself, I can probably make it there in time. Okay. Wait for it to go off, then go into the safe spot, and then the next two go off. Okay, cool. I think the most tricky thing is going to be that tentacle dig, figuring out how to read that. Yeah. That will just take some getting used to. Like, you gotta just see the shapes and figure out the timing well. And then as soon as it telegraphs a thing, you have to move very quickly if that's what you're relying on. Okay, next set of ads. Oh, we got a treasure chest back here. I'm gonna grab all this and the treasure and then move to the next area. There's this purple thing up here. Oh, I'm an unrecognized ethereal signature. Okay, so it's got tethers going outside to like these window thingies. Okay, and it's doing this thing, this cast reinforcements. It will bring in more ads. So usually what I will do, okay, I'll show you. This shark is going to target random people with line AoEs. So here, we got more ads, right? And then the thing is tethering outside again. So I will gather as many ads as I can, well, preferably all of them, and then I will target this rampart thing so that it can go down, so then we don't keep accruing more ads. So if you're using your AoE attacks, okay, also watch out for AoEs, long line AoEs. This one's called Zombie. Okay, if you're using your AoE attack, you wanna like have this rampart thing targeted so that it takes more damage as you're using stuff on everything. Watch out for big AoEs. Because if you don't take care of this rampart thing, it's just going to keep adding more ads to the pack. Also, on here, I noticed that some were green, which means they were on other party members. So I had to make sure to go grab that. There's a lot going on here, but as tank, I have to make sure my party members are not getting attacked. If you are getting attacked by stuff, make sure you bring it close to the tank while they're using their AoE. Okay. The NPCs tend to not do that, so if you're running with them, you gotta do a bit more work if you're tanking. Also, if you're relying on the NPC to be your tank, if you have something on you, just bring it towards them. It's a good habit to get into. Oh, somebody knocked me back. Okay, this next pool is gonna be similar. We got treasure back here, if you want that. Okay, I'm gonna grab everything. I'm gonna grab the treasure. And then I'm gonna go in here to the room with the purple thingy and target that purple thing to try to minimize the amount of extra ads we get. See, it's got the tethers again outside. So I'm gonna stay targeted on this rampart thing. So then we can limit the amount of ads, extra ads we get. But when the ads pop up, they kind of pop up in the back. So I gotta go grab those too. We got cone AoEs here too. Also, there's pillars all over, so if you're someone who like moves your camera a lot, know that those pillars are probably gonna block the way sometimes. Look, this one has a crown. This crap. More little crabs, okay. I see them, I gotta pick them up. Pick them up for school. And bring it all close to the rampart thing. I play on controller, so it's kind of tricky to target things sometimes. Ooh, there's a little AoE in there. So sometimes, like, I just won't try to tab target. I'll just stay with whatever. At this point, I'm not seeing that the rampart thing is tethering to the outside walls anymore. It sure is doing these long AoEs though. And so I'm not like specifically targeting the rampart thing anymore. But in any case, it's fine. Just keep them all together. It'll be fine. Oh, yeah. AoEs underneath random players. Also, again, if you're not comfortable with bigger pools like this, then just take it easy. A lot of people are really understanding about new tanks and stuff. Next boss. Okay. So this boss is gonna have a mechanic where it drops ads on the corners. This is the main mechanic here, okay? We got ads in the corner. They're gonna blast some beams at us. So if you take a look here, this ad in this corner has a little dot above it. We've seen this just a few times in other dungeons and stuff. This has a blue dot, and then like, okay, oops. The other ones also have number dots on them. This one, diagonal, also has a blue dot. So that means the first one. Whoa, look at this line. I did it exactly straight across. Okay, and then this one in this corner is two dots, okay, and it's red. And then diagonal from that one, we got this one, that's 2 dots, okay? So that means the ones with the 1 dot, 1, are gonna go first. But if you don't think you can see this fast enough, what I tend to look at is just the shields, which is a lot easier, it's a lot bigger, it's on the boss. The shields are going to deflect whatever the thing does. So here, we'll just watch. Okay, so it's shooting the beam and then it gets reflected. Okay, this one on the side is shooting the beam and it gets reflected. So your safe spots are going to be basically the sides that don't have the shield. And even though there's a little claw over here and a claw over here, they're not going to go off yet because they go second. Okay. Okay, it's geared, they're powering up. But then the boss turns the shield, and so you move to the spot where the boss doesn't have the shield, and then you'll be in the safe quadrant. And this happens the same on the other side. This will happen again. We'll see other variations of it. diffusion ray. This is gonna be the raid wide? Yeah. Okay, articulated bits, we're getting the things again. This time they don't have numbers necessarily, but same premise. Figure out where the shield thing is and just don't stand along it. Okay, so from this point of view, I see it as we got some stuff down here and they're going to shoot this way. This one's going to go at an angle and it's probably going to get reflected. And then whatever is going to happen here is probably going to get reflected. So I stand along this shield and then I see that this shield's like this. So this is going to be my safe spot. Okay, see? This small sliver here is the safe spot because there wasn't anything pointing at this necessarily. They were pointing towards the boss and then they get reflected down, towards the boss, reflected down, and then these ones on the side just go straight up that way. Okay, so there's also a spot over here that's similar to where me and Estinian are standing. Articulated bits again. So the things are gonna go out. Okay, looks like they're in the corner. I hear the little ping, which means, okay, we got 1 and then 2. And it's likely to be the same on the side. Okay, so 1 is diagonal from the other one. Okay, but again, if you can't keep track of that, just look at the shields. Okay, stand in the opening between the shields, and that will most likely be your safe spot. Even though the number 2 is pointing at you, it's not going to go off yet. So, okay, we're here. We're in the safe quadrant. Okay, we have AoE baits we gotta spread apart. It's fine. Move over to the next clear spot. Okay, so here I just look for the gap between the shields again, and I stood between there. And then I'll be safe. It can be tricky if you're running with actual people, if you're struggling with like finding a safe spot and then you run a little too close and then your AoEs overlap each other. Yeah, that can be rough. But you know, you do have a lot of space back here to also dodge things. Okay, yeah, and one of those things gave 12k damage, so you don't want to get multiple ones. Articulated bits again. Okay, so I'm panning my camera to see where things are going. Okay, so here we had one in the corner. It's gonna go to the shield, and so I'm gonna stand along the shield in this gap area, and this will likely be my safe spot because these ones down here are gonna go that way. This one's gonna go here and probably cleave over here. So it's a similar situation in the back. Okay, there we go. Diffusion rays, the raid wide. Rail cannon is tank buster. Articulate bits. Okay, so now the mechanics are just going to repeat. Trickiest thing is figuring out that safe spot for when those bits go off, but if you focus on the shield and just stand between the gaps of the shield and not where they're going to be reflected, then you should be good. And it does take a few times to practice before I got it, so don't be too hard on yourself. Okay, next section I'm going to grab these ads. So much treasure. Kind of a windy section, okay, so you can see the NPCs are kind of far back there, so I'm gonna grab the ads and make sure that they're, like, I turn my camera to make sure I can see the NPCs following. Yeah, okay. then we're right. You can't go any farther than this. Watch out for the little AoEs. Watch out for the bigger AoEs too. Get that treasure and then move on to the next area. This next pull is going to be a bit more spicy. It is with NPCs and it is with actual players. So we got little mimics here. They're little treasure chests. So they're hiding in the thing. Okay, so I'm going to grab these and go into the next room. I'm hella making sure that I got aggro on them because I need the NPCs to really follow me here. Grab everything here, okay, and make sure you are processing all your, well, not all your mitigations at once, but like, there's AoEs and stuff, but also you gotta make sure the NPCs are there with you, or your party members, and just stagger out your mitigations so you can survive this, because these all hit pretty hard. Watch out for the big AoEs. There's big AoEs and small ones, so they can like kind of overlap with each other. Estinian got hit with stuff. He's greedy. Okay, lion AoEs too. Okay, see also when like the healer does like the party heal, you use Helios. It only can reach a certain amount of range, okay? So that's also why you gotta be close to the healer. And why you gotta make sure the healer is close to you, because if like if he was all the way back here, and I don't know that, and then I'm dodging things all the way over here, his party heal for me might not reach, and then you know I could possibly die because of that stuff. So that's why when you're running with the NPCs, it's really important to make sure they're following you, and you're moving the mobs in a way where they will follow you. So the NPCs will follow you, will follow the ads that they can hit, and if they have one near them, they'll just stop. So that's why you gotta pick up everything and keep them together. And if you're running with actual players, make sure your healer's near you if you're tanking. It didn't look that bad, but when you actually play it, it's kind of a very difficult pull. A lot of people lose control of the mobs there and stuff, and the healing might not be as much as people expect, and then I've had some like random party groups really struggle there. Okay, so here we got treasure, and then we're gonna go to the final boss. You notice these little holes around the area, okay, along the sides and even in the middle and things. Those are gonna have spikes at some point, so you wanna kind of have that in the back of your mind if there's spikes there, to watch out for them. Okay, billowing bolts. Due to spikes, okay. Spikes are on the outside for sure, so you don't want to stand in those. Also, that was a raid wipe. The boss is going to jump to the front, and then now you can see some of these other ones are getting a little bit lit. They're glowing a little bit. I know it's like orange on orange, but it's glowing a little bit, and so those are going to change soon. Also at the same time, the boss is going to grab all of us and fetter. Okay, we all have these little debuffs, and so he's gonna then spin us around, and we've got this little hand glove pointing the direction we're going. You can control the direction, but you can't control like your whole character. So you can kind of guide the way. Oh man, yeah, that's my last name. But watch out for all these spikes everywhere. So you definitely don't want to stand in this, but there's stuff in the middle too that you don't want to stand in. So I usually take this long path. I'm spinning a circle across the field and unable to stop. Okay, so we're continuously moving. I take this wide path. Like I go from here and all the way here, so I don't have to maneuver a lot. Like if you go here, then you'd have to turn, and then, you know, whatever. But whatever works best for you. Afterwards, we all get a little bit dizzy, so we fall down a bit. Ooh, Yurianji is very close to that thing. Okay, and then the spikes go away, so it's fine to stand in the middle of the stage. And we got a tank buster here. Billowing bolts. This is gonna be the raid wide. Wild weave. Okay. He does this animation where there's like all this fabric going out everywhere. So we got these things hanging. Okay, there's green, there's yellow. So you have to pan your camera in a way where you see where the boss is tethering. It's tethering a green one and doing this thing called power surge. Okay, surge is actually a sewing term. You surge things together, and that's sewing them together. Anyway, so because it's tethering a green one, that means the green rope fabric silks are going to have AoE. So we stand at the other one, which is the yellow one. Okay, Colossal Surge of Tether inundates the hanging fabric. So see, now it's glowing. Okay, so then now all the green ones are gonna have these orbs drop AoEs. We'll see it another time, at least once more. Rotary Gale. Okay, so we spread out for these. Okay, he jumps again, and he's gonna bring us all up to the front and then spin us around. So just watch out. Watch out for the spikes, right? Also, he's gonna do this thing in the middle. So this is why by default I always kind of go off to the side, because usually he will do this thing in the middle. And then I make the turn, and I go up there. And this one goes a little bit longer, and then he'll go off to another side. So you want to give yourself enough room to spin around. Okay. Tank Buster. Dude, Justinian, you're so close. Tank Buster, man. Billowing Bolts. Raid Wide. Okay, Wild Weave. So this is the one where we're gonna get the hanging fabric thing again. So we'll take a look at which way he's facing. Okay, this time he's facing north. And just to be sure, I turn my camera. I see that it's a yellow one. And so the yellow ones are gonna explode. So I go to the green rope, the green fabric. Okay, yellow ones explode. Happens pretty quickly. And immediately after, we got these AoEs here that we need to spread out for. Oh, I got hit with that. How did I get hit? Was I standing too close? Oh yeah, okay, so you gotta back it up. Here, look at this. This is like this, and I was too close. So it's quite wide. Alright, so you gotta move a lot closer to this green thing to be sure. If you want to back it up here, if you can still reach. If you're range, you can back it up even more. If you are melee, I was basically in the hitbox still, so you want to go like max melee, so you don't get hit with this. right? Yeah. So I took 13k damage and I got a bone stack. Tank Buster. Billowing bolts, raid wide. Nice. Alright, cool. That wasn't so bad. I hope you enjoy the story. Have a good one. Goodbye.